I just want to thank you for downloading the easy checklist, and hopefully it's already started to make a difference as you dive into it and look at each of the elements. But I just want to break them down, give you a little bonus material so you know how to approach it and what effects each of these elements are. And forgive me because I'm going to look over at my notes so I can make sure I'm giving you the right information. But jumping into it, the first point I have is water. By far, the most important thing you can change in your daily habits is drinking more water. And that's at least, and I say at least, not a maximum or a goal you hope to hit, but at least 50% of your body weight in ounces. So if I'm 200 pounds, I'm gonna drink a minimum of 100 ounces. I can tell you without a doubt I hit a gallon of water a day because of physical activity, but also the benefits that it provides. Every cell in your body uses water, so use water at every meal, at every snack, and drink it like it's your job. So keep a bathroom handy, so don't pound a half a gallon of water right before a road trip. That's gonna be a miserable road trip, but keep in mind that water is so key. So drinking at least 50% of water. Now when we look into movement, which is our next point, I don't want anybody to feel like they've got to do this high intensity cardio weight training, routine that is the only way they're going to get in shape. Not the case. But what I have seen is that if you get movement in at least 15 minutes, especially first thing in the morning, if you can do it, you're going to set yourself up for a successful day, because not only have you boosted your energy, you have boosted hormones that are going to keep you motivated and make you feel good, right? We're releasing those endorphins. We are getting dopamine and serotonin. That is so key because we're intended to move. And then that, as we've seen over the years, really helps to springboard you into a more successful day. So 15 minutes, try to get it in the morning. If you get in more, great. But if it's just a walk for 15 minutes, get out of bed 15 minutes earlier, get that done. The next piece we like to look at is protein. So with every meal, with every snack, if you lead with protein, and this is part of a very successful plan, you are going to be satiated after you eat, because protein is very metabolic. It takes a long time for your digestive system to break it down, unlike carbohydrates and fat. So if you're having protein with every meal, with every snack, you're gonna see that you feel much better and you are satiated, so you're not hungry very soon after having a meal or a snack. So lead with protein. Next, we're gonna get into fasting. And you might've seen I spelled it with the PH, a little play on words with fat, and how we're spelling fat and how we're spelling fasting. But really just push your breakfast off till lunchtime. That's it. Breakfast is breaking the fast, so break the fast at noon. Or if it has to be 11, or 1, but push that first meal off, because that's going to force your body to find other means of energy, which will be body fat. But the other side of it is there are so many hormonal benefits that you'll see, but changing things up for your metabolism and helping push that first meal off, you're going to see a big difference in just 1 week. So try that out and pushing that first meal off. Next we look at is sleep. Without sleep, you cannot function. So I would not force yourself to say, I got to get up, super early to get all these things done, and really have a poor bedtime routine to sacrifice that sleep. So let's look at what are you doing later in the evening that isn't a priority to your health or benefiting your lifestyle or your family, and what can we eliminate to get a little bit more sleep? Then we can get up a little bit earlier and get some things done. But 7 hours minimum is what you should be getting. 7 to 9 is ideally what studies show that is going to give you the best results. But so if we're getting that minimum of 7 and days you can sleep in, just sleep with no alarm and let yourself get that rest. Another piece that is on our list that you will see is alcohol. So this is always that worry, like, oh, well, should I not drink at all? Or I like to have a beer or a glass of wine every night. These things aren't meant to be cut out completely to make your lifestyle sustainable, but understanding the impact that it has. So just so you understand that alcohol, unlike the other calories you take in, totally changes your metabolism. So your liver that is going to help metabolize fat has to stop metabolizing fat to metabolize alcohol. So it's got to process and filter this poison out of your system, because that's just what alcohol is. Sorry to be the bearer of great news, but so if you're drinking at all or indulging on adult beverages, try to limit it to once a week, because when you're going to have that metabolic blip in your system and you're going to shut off your metabolism for a number of hours because you're taking in that alcohol, be sure you're aware of it. So I would rather see somebody drink a little more once a week than a little bit many times a week, because you're having that hitch in your metabolism on a regular basis. So limit your alcohol intake, and if you can do it to once a week or twice a month, the less the better for you. Next, we're going to look at your environment, which is such a high priority, but I don't believe we prioritize it, or we feel like we have too much willpower or pride to get around it. So what I mean by that is, if you like Oreo cookies or you like ice cream and you keep it in your house, you're going to indulge on it, or you're putting yourself through some mental and physical torment trying not to indulge on it. So let's think about getting those things out of the house. And if it's some snacks that your kids like, well, if it's bad, they don't need it either. What's the matter with a good apple, a piece of fruit, some vegetables, a protein bowl? These are things that, you want to look at. Is it benefiting the level of health you want? I like to keep people within the lifestyle they like, and I want you to find things you want to snack on that you enjoy but are not going to be a major hit to your calories. So if that's a popcorn, or it's a healthier nacho or quesadilla, these are things that are wonderful to indulge on. Or myself, I do a Yazoo Greek yogurt ice cream pop or Halo Top. There's things out there that are really good, but giving you the environment that's going to help. Same thing with like your exercise in the morning. If you have your shoes out, maybe your workout clothes on the sink, so after you go to the bathroom in the morning, that's what you look at and like, okay, I've got to, this is my cue to get going and get my 15 minutes in. So setting your environment up for giving you good options for food and not having the things around that you want to indulge on, and also setting up your activity with some type of cue with your workout clothes, or maybe your keys are on your running shoes, whatever it is, make your environment work for you. Finally, we're going to talk about planning. So in other videos I've done, specific on the 5 Ps, proper planning prevents poor performance. So let's think about how you're planning out your week. Do you know what you're going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner the next week? Do you know when you're going to exercise the next week? Do you know what your work schedule is going to be like, and you can plan out what your bedtime routine is going to be to make sure you're getting enough sleep? I don't want to overwhelm you with this planning, but it's something just to think about and go, what am I going to have? And even if you get some of the meals planned and you have some of your schedule planned, again, consistently average trumps or is greater than seldom perfection. So keep that momentum going. I want you to feel like this is going to be something that you can do, because you definitely can. You have the ability to accomplish anything you want. It is God's will that you steward the body that He gave you, the temple of the Holy Spirit. And as the healthiest version of ourselves, we can give to others around us the best version of us, because we have the energy, because we have the motivation, and because we have the capability. It's not about being the fittest person in the room or the fittest parent. It's about being the healthiest version of you. So I hope this has helped you out. I've got a lot more great content coming to you. As always, feel free to email me directly at eric@fatdad.fit, or just private message me and I'll be happy to connect with you and answer any questions you have. You make it a great day, and God bless.